Everybody, and welcome to what will be the last Ukraine update of the year here on the Shills, and we're double blessed with Starsky and Rick with the commander as well joining us. Now, before we turn it over to Starsky, I want to say I am disappointed. We have put the call out to the hitman community, the assassins, the psychos, and the others out there. Step up and do your thing. Why is Putler still walking around? This should have been done already. We've asked and asked and asked. So please let everybody you know in the underworld to step up and do their damn job. On that note, let's turn it over to Starsky and get something that actually matters here. Oh, wait a minute. There it is.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, thank you, bro. And by the way, I completely agree with you. I mean, why do those Delta Force guys even receive their salary? Oh my God, I think I wasn't supposed to say that because I feel like I'm getting punched in a dark elevator real bad. It was just a joke. Yeah, so what do we have now? Now we have an ongoing strike here in Ukraine, multiple Russian/Iranian Shahed drones flying. And just a minute ago, we received a new message about additional launches from Crimea. Currently, they're flying, evading Kiev. So they probably realized that we have that our air defense here in Kiev is too effective, probably. So they're evading Kiev and flying towards Vinnytsia, towards Dnipro, Zaporizhia, Kherson, Mykolaiv, and other cities. There were several S-300 strikes today as well. Also, there was a missile strike in Odessa today again. In Kharkiv, the Russian terrorists hit a hotel and a residential building. And yesterday we survived probably most massive missile strike of 2023. More than 150 missiles and drones were launched at different cities, major cities. Mainly Kiev, Kharkiv, Lviv, Dnipro, Zaporizhia, and Odessa. And yeah, we have a Shahed going towards Zhytomyr. So that's the situation. And today, after this red line was crossed by the Russian terrorists, we witnessed multiple unidentified flying objects striking Belgorod and Bryansk. We know that there are casualties. And those casualties are due to the Russian air defense. Basically, um, remember last year they were saying that Ukrainian casualties are Ukrainian casualties emerged because we shoot down Russian missiles flying at Ukrainians. So basically, I think that's completely the case there in Belgorod and Bryansk nowadays, because they're shooting down drones and missiles over the residential areas, and they just fall down, killing Russian people because their air defense suck balls. And I think that after all those red lines that were crossed by the Russian terrorists, basically all attacks on Russian terrorist federation are justified completely, and basically they shouldn't have invaded Ukraine on the first place because they knew the consequence. But the topic of today that I wanted to offer to discuss is the danger hanging over the Russian propagandists. And my brother Rick, do you have something to add regarding the news?
Yeah, you forgot one very special firework that happened this week. Yeah, just about 3 days ago, Novocherkassk exploded, and yeah, so many. Well, they are not passengers; they are military. It's a military ship, so all of those
Fuck 'em.
military became astronauts. Actually, Commander Macmillan, your mic is muted.
Yeah, you must
I
be
wanna
muted
hear
there.
your comment.
I was going to say there was another smoking incident.
And I think the most impressive one, yeah, Dick is actually showing this to you on the screen, but no, this is the video from last year when it was first hit. And I think in a bit you will see how it was hit this time. It was during the night, and then in Feodosia, where it was located, multiple pieces of that ship were found in different parts of town. So this was a big boom, and we actually could see it from the videos that our correctors on the place were making.
Yeah, if you look at the video, you'll see that the one from the most recent attack, you'll see that the ship is actually on fire, and that's from the missile strike. And then what you see, that big giant explosion, that's because all of the ordnance it's carrying cooks off.
Yeah.
So the big explosion isn't the missile hitting it. That's the result of them not being able to put out the fire. And that was one of the things that we noticed when I was on active duty, was that Russian military ships have very inadequate firefighting capabilities. So if you look at any NATO ship or US ship, their firefighting stations about every 20 to 30 feet, both inside and outside the ship. And everybody on board is trained on how to use that equipment. So if fire breaks out, everybody knows what to do and they have immediate access. For the Russians, I got to tour a Russian guided missile destroyer when we were in Hawaii one time. We were doing a joint exercise with them. And we were stunned walking along the top side of the whole ship. There was a single firefighting station. That was it. And it didn't even have any nozzles there, because the nozzles, which are made of brass, are of such value that the sailors were constantly stealing them. So they keep them locked in a locker downstairs. And then when the fire broke out, somebody would rush down, unlock the locker, and hand out the firefighting nozzles so they could actually fight the fire.
Here's an image on screen showing, if you look at the red, yellow, and blue blocks, the top is the ship and the bottom is those three pieces identified now being sunk in the harbor right there.
Yeah, and by the way, the first video that we saw, that explosion during the day last year, I made a video about it. And as far as I remember, it was when Russian propagandists made a video of those BTR vehicles being loaded on the ship, and that's when the strike happened, and the Russians became really, really sad for some reason. Yeah, I remember it was probably one of my first videos back then in year 2022.
The a couple of super chats and donation things I want to get to here before we keep going. So we had Funny Bones, member message. My pet shark Commander Starsky is getting huge. Love it, love it, love it. And then we got Stephen Walsh comes in with a $100 super chat. Boom, motherfucker. Russian naval aviation at its finest.
Oh, yeah.
Big thanks there, Stephen Walsh. Huge thanks. And then XAJJ Killers member message. Let's go. I wonder what we get with 2 thumbs up. What do I get? Oh, yeah. Okay. Fireworks. And then Jilt came in with a member message. Happy, healthy 2024, everybody, with all the proper Slava Ukraini emojis in the chat and whatnot there. And then if I just switch over to my other room, we had a direct donation from Linda H, 31 Canadian, directly into the Boom Boom Fund. Thank you, everybody. I think I'm caught up. I am. I turn it back over to you, who have more to say than I.
So I just wanted to finish with that ship that, to sum up this year, as it's like almost the last day of the year. Here in Ukraine, that's just 2 hours before the last day. We had a major victory in Black Sea this year, and I think we fucked Russian fleet really hard this time. So anyone who says that Ukrainian counteroffensive, failed this year, they know nothing. Just like the Jon Snow, they know nothing.
If I may, they talk like this.
Yeah, that's it. Of course, I would say that even our command was hoping for another outcome of this counteroffensive, but who are we trying to, I don't know, to be kidding, because Russians mined everything and fortified very well, and what other outcome we could expect. But it shows us the reality. It gives us the opportunity to change the tactics, to learn from our mistakes, and to make the new counteroffensive more successful, considering all of these problems that we faced this year. So I think all of this should be just transformed into experience, which will give us the opportunity to make it a success.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I would like to add to this that majority rumors about the failed counteroffensive of the armed forces of Ukraine belongs to, and it's a result of those narratives that were spread by the pro-Russian propagandists on the West, of course in Russia, but on the West as well. And this is something that I wanted to talk about today, because the topic is really, really interesting. And before starting, I would like to ask you: do you remember? Did you ever saw that list of mysterious deaths and assassinations that happened in Russia in the past 2 years?
I've seen a lot, and yeah.
I mean, there's more than 30 people, including businessmen, including decision makers, including military, including generals, politicians, oligarchs, and many other people that were really influential in Russia, and not only in Russia, by the way. Of course, we cannot avoid mentioning Prigozhin, of course, because Prigozhin was considered a Russian hero, and he was like the most popular man in Russia in 2023, by the way. Of course, we cannot also avoid mentioning Girkin Strelkov, the Russian terrorist that was again considered a Russian hero for taking Crimea and starting the coup in Donbass and yada yada. Yes, he's still alive yet, but you know what I'm talking about. What happens? Yes, Dave.
I'm scrolling the list right now and it just won't fucking end. Holy shit, man. It's a huge list.
Yeah.
You'd think that after all these accidents, they realize that they need to put safety nets under all the windows in Russia to keep important people safe.
Yeah,
well, then they'll start to choke in their bath, you know, after that.
Got overdosed with air. Slept too much.
Oh, by the way, guys, choked on a cookie, on a Christmas cookie, for example. You know? So, last time, remember, Dave noticed that I had a Christmas cookie there, and I ate it before showing this to you. I decided not to make the same mistake again, so here they are. Now I'm gonna start eating them.
So I guess in Russia, choking on a Christmas cookie would be a horrible way to go.
Yeah, or for example, like, you know, fell asleep and didn't wake up because he thought he did.
Okay.
Wow, that cookie was a ticket to the afterlife.
Yes. So what I'm talking about here is this good old Russian tradition of eliminating witnesses and eliminating people who had their own opinion. People who want to receive some benefits from promoting Russian ideas and Russian narratives, they don't really understand then when you are getting recruited by the Russian terrorist federation. There is no space to step left or right for you. No, not anymore. You have to follow the agenda, and if you stop following this agenda, or if you start doing something, you know, from the bottom of your heart, it may end like horribly wrong. So I have just two examples. Of course, we already mentioned Prigozhin and Girkin. One was eliminated together with Utkin, who was another mysterious figure, and another one was prisoned. The reason Girkin was prisoned was because no matter how hard he criticized, you know, the Russian agenda and things like that, but as soon as he mentioned that he wants to run to presidency in Russia, oh man, that it was bad. You don't do that in Russia because only one man can rule Russia. And if you have illusions that there's democracy in Russia, well, welcome to the real life. But there are two good examples that I wanted to talk about today. One of them is Anton Krasovsky. So in 2022, there was this Russian propagandist. He was chief editor of the Russia Today. And on the Russian national television, he shared his intention to see Ukrainian children being drowned and burned. and he spoke it out loud, which you don't really do on the Russian television, even though they say things like that. But unfortunately, only the iconic ideologies of the Russian world, of this ideology of Russian supremacy, and I'm talking about individuals like Solovyov, Dugin, Prilepin, they have this legal right to spread hate speech, like legally, openly, because they are ideologists. The rest, you don't really do that, because if you work on a Russian television where everything is staged, you have to follow the agenda, you have to follow the instructions, because the instructions for your television programs, they're developed specifically by the Russian Stratcom, and all of the editors, they receive those instructions, and then they forward those instructions down to their like hosts and all the responsible people. So you don't do that online, because again, Western public, like Russia doesn't care about the Western public, but again, they have like Chinese people, they have like Iran, and those guys, they will be seeing those messages, And again, hatred is one thing, but in Russia, teaching people to hate Ukrainians is a very sophisticated process, because they don't teach them to hate all Ukrainians at once. First, they teach them that Ukrainians were trying to attack Russia. Then they were saying that Ukrainians and Russians are actually brothers, but Ukrainians are suffering from Ukrainians, and that's why they have to liberate Ukrainians from Ukrainians. And when Russians go to war and they see their comrades in pieces on the battlefield, then they start like hating everybody for real. So that's why on the Russian television it's a really sophisticated process, and you don't openly speak what you think. It's dangerous when you start speaking what you think on the Russian television, what you're thinking for real. Well, they realize that you're dangerous, actually, because Girkin was also saying what he was thinking, as well as Prigozhin, as well as a lot of those 30+ Russians who died mysteriously. And in the end, Anton Krasovsky was fired from the Russia Today. He was condemned by several Russian public spokesman, and he kept saying what he said basically in different other TV shows, and eventually he got poisoned. So one thing, again, he was too kind of dumb for being a proper Russian propagandist, because you have to be more cunning. You have to have a different mindset. You cannot be dumb if you're a Russian propagandist.
Because you're going to die, right?
Yeah. For example, in 2022, again, after this horrible fail on the live television, he decided to improve his image, and he donated blood for the Russian terrorists. And he made this huge PR from this blood donation. But the funniest fact was that in 2017, 5 years before it happened, he openly confessed that he's HIV positive. And I'm not sure how many Russian soldiers received his blood, but I believe that the world needs such people, such generous blood donors like Anton Krasovsky in the Russian army. The more the better, of course. So like the dude is kind of dumb. Like he thinks he's smart, but no, not really. And he got poisoned. Currently, we don't have much information about him, because Russians are trying not to talk much about his case. And there were even rumors, they were not confirmed, but there were rumors that the message about him being poisoned was already written by a different person. And not sure if it's true, guys. It's like
It sounds
you decide.
Yeah,
but you decide. But we'll see. We'll see soon.
I think the key is that they have an official script that they want to go by. And if you deviate from that script, even if it's positive what you're saying, you're going into dangerous territory. Stick with the official message and don't deviate from that.
It's like Emperor Qin's legalism. Do what the law says, or else.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And we should also mention different people who knew too much and they got eliminated, like Skripals, like Litvinenko, by the way, and many other people. So there is a huge risk for people supporting Russian terrorism nowadays, specifically on the West, because of two main reasons. So reason number one, Russia likes to eliminate witnesses, eliminate people who know too much. And regardless of the outcome of this war, regardless of the results of the Russian invasion, there is a high chance that, unfortunately to them, they will be considered dangerous and they will be eliminated. What happened to the Nazi command in 1945, in the last days of war?
Yeah, that worked out well for everyone.
Yeah, and this is something that will absolutely happen if Russia loses. In a different case, of course, they will be eliminated because they know too much. And remember, after the revolution and after the war, there was this photo of Stalin with his comrades. They were standing next to a river, and there were like several of his comrades. And the number of those comrades was decreasing eventually, with the flow of time. There were like 3 men, then 2, then 1, then just Stalin himself. Because this is how it works in Russia, guys. They are not playing games. They make people disappear. And if those pro-Russian influencers think that Russians will spare their lives just because they kind of like them or think they're useful or whatever, welcome to the real world where Russians don't respect anybody.
Right.
And Russians are saying, look at those stupid Yankee who support us. They don't care. Don't care. And another thing, guys, so it's regardless of the outcome, because even if you are not assassinated by Russians, and even if you manage to survive this somehow, one way or another, Russia will not win this war, because the only chance for Russia to win this war is eliminate whole Ukraine. If Russia manages to capture territories, even if Russia manages to grab the whole left bank of Ukraine and stop there, which is completely impossible, because in almost 2 years they captured 0 major cities of Ukraine, right? 0 regional centers. So even if Russia stops there, nobody will lift the sanctions from Russia in the upcoming future. It will never happen. And Russia will always, Russia will always stay isolated, and the world will treat Russia as the world treats North Korea. Everybody spits on North Korea because everybody hates and despises them for being freaking terrorists.
Well, that's where we're going. We're creating a 2-tier world where There's everybody in one side, and then there's all these pariah states on the other who can only trade with one another.
Yeah, it's like the old cartoons with the Justice League versus the Legion of Doom. But that's really what I mean. Sorry to make it kind of a joke, but that's actually what's going on here.
That's
Absolutely.
a very evil joke, I would say.
Yeah. So what I'm talking about here is, regardless of the outcome of this Russian invasion, even if they manage to survive, and I'm talking about the pro-Russian influencers, not necessarily the useful idiots, so-called useful idiots, but people paid or people who benefit from that, or people who know other people and different information. If they manage to survive, they will be held responsible. And I give you 100% that they will be held responsible for spreading the terrorist propaganda in the world, which led to deaths, to suffering, to genocide of Ukrainian population. And this is what we will see. So there's another thing. So if they manage to withstand all those challenges, because being a pro-Russian propagandist and pro-Russian influencer nowadays is a really, really challenging thing, because first of all, whole world hates you for being a fucking asshole and loser and sometimes pedophile, right, Scott Ritter? Not only that, there's such organization. I'm not sure if it's called the Security Service of Ukraine. Maybe maybe some other ninjas who like to hunt and assassinate people like that. You see, guys, Ukrainians will make all the Russian terrorists pay for their war crimes. And because one of the strongest Russian weapons is hybrid warfare and propaganda, propagandists will also be punished. So the only way the Russian, let's say, I told you this, and please forget about it, okay? Because let's pretend I never spoke that. But there is a big chance that not only Open Window will be hunting those people, but I don't know, overdosed on air, choked on Coca-Cola and things like that. The only possible way for them to survive is to contact their authorities and tell them everything they know about the Russian network of spies, influencers, about the network of Kremlin-funded organizations and political parties and politicians. Basically, people who always wanted to, become a bit richer and have easy money. Their only way to survive this and to remain alive and well and even healthy is to search for protection from their government right now in Europe, in the US, and this is the wisest thing they can do. That's my humble opinion.
Which of them is wise, man? Really? I have a few things to add to what you've said. Maybe Dick wants to mention super chats first.
Yeah, I got a few I could run through. I'm gonna do it pretty quickly, but there is a couple that are like questions, so we'll play it as it goes here. I've got Mike71 with a member message. 40 months. Wow, love it, Mike71. Live long and prosper, and he does the whole Vulcan salute thing, except to the fucking orcs. Yeah, I can appreciate that one very much. Yvonne Way came in with a $10 super chat as well. I think it was one of the super stickers. Let me just flip over and see if I can't find it here. Oh my God. Oh yeah, it was the woman that goes like this, and it has the big thanks that comes across the top. I always try to act them out. It's kind of a strange tradition that I fell into. Crazy Cat 1 came in with a member message and gifted a Shills member as well. And the service that tells me who got it is screwed up right now, but huge thanks, Crazy Cat 1, because gifted memberships mean a lot around here. Linda H came in and gifted a membership as well. Again, I don't know who to welcome, but thanks, Linda H. Again, we love the gifted memberships. Danny Carver came in with a member message. Happy New Year, my friends. Operator Starsky is the absolute rule. So we got to love that one big time. Cats came in with a £5 super chat. I think it's a pound. All the best, everyone, for 2024. Slava Ukraini. And it's got the VPDFO and all the proper emojis. It's a really cool one. Raven7 came in with a $10 direct tip through Stream Elements. We get to keep a lot more of that or send a lot more on, depending if it's boom, and this is, concentrating on the positives, embarrassing asset losses for the RF, F-16, who knows, enjoying their paranoia makes as much sense as an almost naked party. Fuck the RF. Strong message. I like that. The Sun Express came in with a $20 super chat. A Jaga from the Caribbean. Say strong, Starsky and Rick. I like that very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got to get a little song to play for one of those kind of came in. I could get a little, stuff and action going or something and really put it on. Jeff L threw in a €10 super chat. I think it was a super sticker because there's not a thing there. Let me look. Yeah, and it's like this dude with a cape and he's doing the fly off. I think that was in reference to that Justice League joke that I had made there. It's got to be. Nelly Cat came in with 4,000 on Hungarian forints. I love that word. That's what a great way to describe money. And that was also a sticker, and it was the pear guy going like this. You are amazing. Thank you very much, Nelly Cat. There was a direct tip from Anonymous, so I'll leave it that way for you. No problem. It was $20 tip. Hypothetical for Commander McMillan. Could POTUS send Marines to Ukraine to help with logistics and then use that as an excuse to send more air defense systems to Ukraine to help with the air defense? So we're getting tricky here.
Yeah, that's the creeping commitment that we saw in Vietnam. We start out, we're sending some advisors. Well, the advisors are being attacked, so we're going to send people to protect the advisors. Now the people who are protecting the advisors are also getting attacked. So now we're going to commit air power and ships and everything else. And yeah, in theory, you could do it. But if you were going to do it, I think the preferred way would not be to send them into Ukraine, but to have them stationed in, like, say, Romania or Poland adjoining Ukraine and do it from there. The problem is the moment you start putting U.S. troops into harm's way in a country that's at war, you end up with the potential risk of when U.S. servicemen get killed, then you start wanting to retaliate, and that spirals out of control extremely quickly.
I think US will never contribute to that. Will never risk that much.
Yeah.
At least with the current president, and then the one that has the potential to become the president again is just going to be a disaster for
the orange shit gibbon?
Oh,
yeah.
Captain Spray Paint Tan there, he's been removed from 2 ballots in the States so far. The odds of him being able to do anything more than fill his own depends and have somebody clean it up are getting slim.
Do you think it's a wise move to remove him from balance?
I think he should be shot on sight, but that's another thing.
I see
Don't
it like
go
this.
back. Tell us what you really think.
If some states will remove him from the ballot, isn't it the possible conflict inside the country between the states?
I don't know
you
how
thought
that
about
works.
You're from Canada, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, we roll one and take a puff, and we don't take things this seriously. So
the issue there really boils down to which states remove him from the ballot. If it's a state that is safely Democratic, then it isn't going to affect the outcome of the election because, as we've had several times, the popular vote can go to the guy who actually loses. It's all based on electoral votes, which are decided by who wins each state.
Right.
So the one that everybody's waiting to see drop is Georgia. Because if he's taken off the ballot in Georgia, which is traditionally a red state, Republican state, that severely impacts the chances to get enough of the electoral votes.
Right.
Do you think that the chance is big or small that Georgia will remove him from the ballot?
Fuck, I hope so.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's a crapshoot. It's roll the dice, and if you get the right number, it'll happen. It depends on which judge hears the case. It depends on how much pressure is being exerted on people that will then process and decide whether or not that's going to be forwarded up for review. I think it's really tough to predict. I think realistically, there's plenty of supporting evidence to say, yep, he's off the ballot, but he's
off his fucking rocker.
Yeah, that too. But you end up with a real problem in terms of who runs things in the judicial system in that particular state, and then in that particular judicial region. So who's on that state Supreme Court, who's on the regional Supreme Court, Court of Appeals, etc.
Okay, thank you. So maybe enough with that shithead. Let's go to something more pleasant.
I'm hoping.
I did. I missed a direct tip donation from Funny Bones, and it's an article to the times.co.uk. Russian warship destroyed, Ukraine war attacked Crimea, and then like some characters or whatever. I've tried opening it, and they don't like me. I guess it's like because I'm in Canada or something. They won't even let me have one free article. I'm trying to do a sign in right now just to maybe I can get like a freebie or something, but it's not even seeming to let me. Okay, so sorry, we couldn't have find an account. Okay, yeah, I'll try though. I'll try. If there is another link that can get me to this same information, it would be helpful. I realize in situations like this, I've got to get a VPN on my browser so that I can, appear to be in the UK and they wouldn't be so pissed off or something, right? We had so many things come from the Washington Post for a time on the show that I just gave up and signed up to the website because I couldn't get around it, right? But I will try. And there was a $10 tip from another person that wanted me to pull up this same article. And I'm just, I'm trying my hardest here. I'm going to shut up for a second in the background and try a different web browser and see if I can't log in, and maybe I could get through. It's confusing as hell, though. It's driving me crazy. So Lynn S. in the chat had thrown in I think it's a super sticker. Yeah. It says, hiya, and it's this person popping up, $7 super sticker, too. So thank you, Lynn. Garth McHale had thrown in a $10 super chat for the Starsky Boom Boom Fund. Fuck Russia. Here, let me do that better. Fuck Russia. There, that I think is more appropriate. A couple more to catch up on here. K and K's GG became a shill apprentice. So welcome to the family. Awesome. Tastel Kolakahuna. It's a little small on my screen, and I do need glasses. Sorry, I'm trying there. Slava Ukraini and victorious New Year to Ukraine. I like that one very much. Danny Carver slammed in and gifted 5 Shills memberships. Again, the service won't tell me who y'all are. Welcome to the family, and big thanks, Danny Carver. Big thanks. And then Stephen Welsh comes in again with a $10 super chat. Hey, let's not bring domestic politicians into the fray. I'm not voting for Russia. That's a good... Oh, well said, Stephen. Well said. You know, we were talking about Russians being mysteriously poisoned. Well, here on the Shills, we have an absolute amazing team of researchers. And it turns out when a dead Russian soul is sucked into hell, it makes a sound. This is that sound.
Nice. An old one.
But a great one.
Yeah.
I would also like to mention Janine, who today she wrote me and she said that they already had like 10 air alerts in a single day. But Janine received an award from 58th Air Defense Brigade, and I think it's worth congratulating her. And also in the year 2023, I would like to say big thanks to all of my viewers, all of my supporters, everybody who supports my channel. Thank you so much. And of course, thank you. Yeah, that's the medal for the volunteering effort. And yeah, we are all proud of Janine. She does great job, not only cooking for the Ukrainian soldiers, but also helping them with different supplies, with EcoFlow power stations and things like that. Starlink, yeah. So I'm really proud to be acquainted with Janine. She's an inspiration.
She's an OG superstar, man.
yeah. And also, before it's too late, before it's 2024, I would also like to say thank you to everybody who supported Ukrainian efforts, everybody who supported Ukrainian armed forces and Ukrainian civilians here in Ukraine and abroad. Guys, you are superstars. You did amazing job, and Ukrainian people will never forget this.
Yeah. Now, Rick, we do have something that you yourself wanted to get to, being, something close to you and whatnot. I've got the link ready to start dishing off into the chat and get the mods on it and whatnot. So bring us up to speed and tell us what, seriously, one of everybody's favorite Ukraine streamers and all the Rick rollers here in the chat want to hear. Educate us.
Thank you. So things have been piling up for the last 20 minutes as I had thought after thought, and I wanted to express it, but I had no spot. So now, guys, you are doomed to listen to me for 15 or 20 minutes. Prepare, please. Okay, first of all, guys, have you started the timer?
I think Starsky just gave you the cue. No, it's 12. But yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Nice. So, guys, first of all, I want to talk about that link. Yes, it's our NAFO truck fundraiser. It is moving pretty slow comparing to the last one, but I think it's totally normal because we also had. Oh my God, we had 3 fundraisers that were going on the channel besides of this one, and 2 of them were closed. And my friend El Greco is now buying himself a good 338 caliber rifle with a good scope, which is actually more expensive than the rifle, as they usually are. So thank you very much, rollers and everyone else from all the communities, all our amazing pro-Ukrainian communities who joined, who helped to close that one, and also the one for the APC repair actually was closed earlier, like it was on 40% or 45, and they just took the money from the jar. They shattered the jar. I mean, the facility that repairs all those cars for the army, and they said, okay, probably we will repair other cars. So yeah, this was like a bit shocking to see it during the stream. They didn't know I'm streaming, and the progress bar was there, and they just took the money out, and it was like 0. Oh my god, where all the money go? But no, the thing is that this NAFO truck fundraiser is special to me, as Floki the fighter, my cat who passed away, on one of the patches. We're celebrating her life. We're not grieving here. So, well, I'm grieving myself, but together with you guys, we're celebrating her amazing life and personality. And please help me to boost up this fundraiser, because Third Assault Brigade, the unit of mortar cannons and artillery, they have 152 caliber artillery also, I think. So that's the car for them. It's going to be having an electronic warfare device on it, so probably even will scare off some FPVs, but only those ones that are on the frequency, because you constantly need to change the frequency, as they do also. Thank you for your attention on this matter. And going back to Starsky's topic, I wanted to say that all of this that you've been telling us, Starsky, is getting us to the point that we see, and all of you guys, I know that you realize this, that Russia is treating its people like the resource. And not just as a resource, but as a cheapest resource they have. Like, they value them less than anything. So be sure, any Russian minion out there, that Russia will abandon you every time. Russia doesn't give a fuck about you. Russian will just use you, abuse you, and then drop you somewhere dead in a ditch. And it's just how Russia operates. Russia doesn't care about its people, and that phrase that their women will make more sons is just so well describing them. And it's a tragedy for their people, but who cares? They are the masters of their own fate, and what tragedy they've brought to us, that is actually the real thing that we should think about. So guys, don't forget that Russian people is just a resource for Russia. And yeah, when you think of some of how Russia can treat them differently as it does, they won't. They will keep doing that until this regime falls. And speaking of, the last thing I have to talk about is the networks of spies around Europe and around the world of Russians, which Starsky also mentioned. Those networks some of them are described in an awesome video that just came out this week from the channel To Be Or. It is actually, I think, a Russian guy who is greatly supporting Ukraine. He's definitely donating to Ukrainian army. He thinks that Crimea is Ukraine, and he thinks that Russia must be fallen apart into pieces. These are actually 3 criteria that I've made up to check if the Russian is useful, not the good Russian, but the useful Russian. So these 3 things must be asked.
Let's clarify. Russian. Useful for more than just a target.
Yeah, you're right. Useful for Ukraine, I would say that. So this guy is
less ammunition needed.
Yes. Okay, so he could be trusted. We have this amazing volunteer community here in Ukraine that is actually and investigation community. Inform Napalm, you probably heard of it. Starsky is talking about them also often. So they asked us, their subscribers, to spread this video as much as possible. The thing is that this dude made an English dub-in for it. So it's going to be easy. He's Russian, but he thinks that it is very important to work.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, to work outside Ukraine for the Western audience and to spread awareness about what Russia is doing there with their special agents, with the network of their spies, and not just spies. The citizens of many European countries are involved in that. Many terroristic organizations, not terroristic, right, are involved, and they all are just working tirelessly to bring more war and destruction to Europe. Please, guys, check the video. Dick Dawson will be adding this to the description. Dick, please, I've sent you the video already.
Yeah.
Please edit. Yeah.
The link is already in, and then
Awesome.
yeah, as soon as we go off, because I just put Rick's link because I wasn't sure exactly what I was putting in. So you can type me up a thing to correct that, and I'll correct it as we're going off and whatnot.
There are two of them. First one was for the campaign for the NAFO truck.
Shit.
And see, the second one is to YouTube. So you got to add another one.
Oh,
So it's gonna be
okay,
two
yeah.
of them.
I heard a beep, but I was in setup mode, so I didn't catch that. Okay, yeah, I'm adding that right now. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it, guys. Please watch that. It's 46 minutes, not a small video, but considering you love watching streams like mine, which is 4 to 6 hours long, and you watch that in recording, 46 minutes is nothing for you. So,
Exactly. Do that standing on your head. Come on.
yes, thank you. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much for your attention.
Cool.
I think I even did it in 10 minutes, not in 12.
See that? See
Check it
that?
out.
Peer pressure, it works. Trust me. I'm gonna run through a couple of shout outs here, and then we'll check the time and see how we're doing. We've got Ramo Burning, €5 super sticker here. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah. How's going? And it's the pear guy again. Why YouTube? You got to do more than just a pear. Come on. I'm always trying to imitate a pear. And I kind of look like one if I didn't have legs, but maybe it's personal. It's doing that just to screw with me. But big thanks there. Big thanks. And that was the first super chat from them on the stream too. So huge thanks. Nurse Sean came in with super chat for $1.99 there, and it was good point, Rick. We're a little behind now, but Rick makes a lot of those, so we'll just take it as a given. Thanks, Nurse Sean. Ben Groves came in with a 10-pound super chat. Love to all for 2024. I'm missing Commander McMillan's Santa hat. You know what? I forgot about that. What's with the slack there, McMillan? What are you doing, man? Come on, Santa up.
It's post-Christmas.
Who cares? Come on, it's not New Year's yet. You haven't taken your tree down, have you?
That would require putting one up in the first place.
Busted. We got Jeff L in for a €5 super chat. Slava Ukraini. Fuck Russia. 675 days in a row. And you know what? They should deserve 675 years of torment from the rest of the world afterwards, you know? Yeah, eye for an eye. Thank you very much. Michael Michaels came in with a super chat of New Zealand dollars. I know that one easy. I don't even have to look it up. Love to the Shills family. Starsky, Rick, Lance, and the mods. Yeah, I've said his name enough. You think I could at least read it. Thanks, Michael. Mark Snyder came in with a super chat. I am sponsoring Rick's segment. Slava Ukraini, $20 super chat. I'll make sure to send it over when the payment comes through. And that's a first super chat on the live stream again. Thank you, thank you. And then Stephen Walsh comes in, and what does he do? He slaps down $100 and he says, "Great work, Rick. Steve, you're a monster. You're an absolute monster, and we love you. We love you. That support's
Yeah, by the way,
going right over.
sorry. By the
Yeah.
way, Steven is sending donations on my streams to my PayPal too. So definitely a solid supporter of Ukrainian army. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. He's a name that's well known to us streamers that collect and send, isn't he? Damn right he is. And then we have Adam Rounds come in with a $5 super chat. What happens to U.S. politicians that say lean towards Russia if U.S. labels Russia a terrorist state?
Who's going to be answering? Starsky. We can't hear you, man.
Oh, Starsky,
We
you're
cannot
muted,
hear
buddy.
you.
You're muted.
Yeah, you're muted. Like physically. We still can't hear you. No.
What the hell? Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, I'll comment while he's trying to sort out his sound system.
Yeah.
No, we can't hear you yet. No.
Yeah, I think it requires the U.S. to actually declare Russia a terrorist state. Once that happens, in theory, you can go after people that are openly supporting them, sending them money. You can't really go after them if they're simply saying things, because that's a freedom of speech issue. But yeah, if they're transferring money or facilitating illegal deals that try to bypass sanctions, yeah, those individuals would definitely be vulnerable to prosecution.
I've got something going on here. Oh, I got a little echo. I got something going on here that's going to be awesome. Somebody sent in a direct tip, and I'm not going to read the whole thing out, but somebody has sent me a username and password to log into that Times site so we can get this damn article up. I tell you what, I've said it before, but we have the best fucking viewers on YouTube. That's the kind of thing where somebody steps up to make it happen. You are amazing. Okay, let me get logged in and stuff. You guys run with it here. I'll be back in a minute.
Bro, unfortunately, I have to quit really.
Oh, you got really quiet, dude. I can barely hear you.
I need to run soon.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, hey, Starsky, you and Rick both, tomorrow for the New Year's stream, we're going at 10 p.m. Ukraine time. Are you guys going to be able to pop in?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to be doing mine from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. So yeah.
Can you pop in just after?
Maybe. Let's see how it goes tomorrow.
Because I could save this article for then. I've got a login. I can actually get this up. And this is about the ship in Crimea and whatnot. And there's some people that can get at this article that I can't, that really want to hear you guys talk about it for a few minutes and stuff, right? You know, we can't push Starsky too long tonight. I mean, you know, it's one of those time things, right? He's got what he's got, right? What are you going to do, right? You know, can this login be used till tomorrow? Don't dox yourself in the live chat. It's okay because it came under anonymous. It's fine. But if you can save it for like 24 hours, we could do this tomorrow for sure, right?
Yeah, okay. I can't promise that will be there because, you know, on my streams we also send donations to fundraiser jars, and that sometimes takes time, and it needs to be done there on the stream.
Don't worry, everybody. I'll bug him until he shows up at least for 10 minutes, you know, and Starsky will too. We'll pester him. It's going to happen. I've seen you stream tired. You can do it. Come on.
You could do it. Yes.
I got a couple of quick shout outs to do here. Let me just get into the right room here and make sure. Oh, no, you know what? I think I am caught up. There was Funny Bones sent in a super chat, a direct tip again. So we're at about, you know, $7 million at this point. But Funny Bones says the link was from me. Funny Bones, can I use that link tomorrow in the beginning of the New Year's stream then? And we could go through it then, because we're too pressed for time now. It just took that long. I hope it's cool. So yeah, we're at an hour and 3 minutes now. We should get close to wrap ups here because Starsky will give me shit if we're too fucking long. Let's turn to Rick then. We'll start wrap ups. Final thoughts and shout outs. Anything you want to make sure all the superstars, the fellow babies, and the rollers need to hear is said.
Okay, I should be faster than usually because Starsky is definitely gonna kill me too. So, guys, first of all, thank you for this amazing year. Here on the Shills, there on Rick Rollers, on Starsky's, and Commander Macmillan. It was an honor to meet you this year too, as you Starsky, as you Dick, all of you guys, and all the amazing community. I started, started working on my channel harder just in the beginning of this year, and what we've come to now is just impressive, and it is so touching at some point, guys. You do so much for Ukraine, so much for the armed forces, and for all the communities that support the armed forces and Ukraine in general, that I must say, without you, we all wouldn't be able to achieve all of that. So thank you for an amazing year, guys. Let's step into the 2024, which is going to be hard, definitely, but we're going to get through it, because when we're united, we're just unfucking breakable. Thank you, guys, and thank you for having me today. This was just another awesome stream.
Love it. Man knows how to talk, doesn't he? He's just got that way about him, doesn't he? What do you think, Commander Macmillan? Thoughts and wrap-ups here?
It was an interesting session today. I think that the coming year is going to be very interesting to see how it all plays out. I don't think that the activities on the battlefield will be as critical as the ones that are not on the battlefield. And that, I think, is going to be very important for everybody to realize that, in particular in the U.S., what you do domestically will have very profound effects on what transitions on the front.
Well said. Funny Bones has just chimed in again. Yet another tip. So, we're into the trillions of dollars now. We might be building a spaceship. I'm not really sure. But he says, or she, I'm not sure. Sorry. Dick, I won't change the password that I sent you. Use it freely. So we can bring that article up tomorrow proper. And then I will spend a few bucks in the background and finally get a goddamn VPN for moments like this, because it's driving me crazy. We always remind you, especially right now with political leanings and stuff and whatnot, you have to be a voice that tells your government that you want continued support for Ukraine, especially if you're in the States here, fellow babies. But you got local, regional, and national governments. You can write an email. You can even get a stamp if you want to. I think they still sell those things. You could write it in crayon, because that's probably more familiar for your average politician, but make sure it's legible. But you've got to be reminding these people that you, the people, want the government to support the effort. As much as we can do collectively, and do we ever, with them, you've got serious cash and items and stuff flowing over. So piss your government off telling them that you want support. And again, if you're a hitman or, one of those kind of people, why the hell is that asshole still walking? Get the job done. We always turn to Starsky for the last words, because they make more sense than mine usually. So Starsky, it's over to you, buddy.
Bro, it's doubtful. Can you hear me well, by the way?
I just jacked the volume up. It should be okay.
You sure?
It's quiet, but we're all right.
Okay, I will be like this. Okay. Yeah, Rick is like, if I talk like 15 minutes more, he will like, bro, I cannot kill you. I'm not even wearing pants right now, and I swear, my dog, I have zero regrets about it. Okay, so first of all, I would like to say thank you as usual, guys, because you are amazing. And sorry if I'm like violating your private space right now. Okay, but. Thank you so much. It's an unusual session, I must say. I must say that we've never been so close.
Yeah, definitely.
Previously. Guys, you are amazing. I love you so much. And by the way, don't forget to wish Trine Daily happy birthday in just 1 hour. And also, and also be safe, guys. This is the most important thing. Be safe.
Well said, buddy. Well said. I had a little boost on your gain there. I just turned it off so it doesn't come on next time. And oh my God! Last minute super chat came in there from Jilk. A couple of euros, I think it is actually. Just loving this amazing community. Well, we're loving the support and everything from you guys. It's been a great year, getting to know a lot of people and a lot of new folks and stuff, gathering the support community for Ukraine, getting the word out bigger and stronger and whatnot. And remember, again, I mean, if you make your living going douche kind of thing, pick a fucking target that makes sense, for God's sakes. Big shout out today to our team, CF Beauty, who runs everything in the background. We got Catalan T, BME, Shayna Caldwell, Skits Crasher, Liam Weekfield, and Allie helping on the mod team. You guys make it possible. We love you for it. On that note, I think there's only 2 words to say. Slava Ukraini. Good night, everybody.
Better.
Героям слава. Good
We
night,
got to
guys.
wait till the hearts come up. There we go. Okay. Boom.
It's over. Go home. Go.